Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be talking all about peas and how to plant them, what they need, and how to get them to thrive. Peas are one of the easiest vegetables to grow and one of the earliest vegetables that you can get started in your garden. You can absolutely direct sow peas right outside in your garden, but today we're going to be starting them indoors just to get a jump on that season. You can start peas outdoors as soon as you can work the soil by direct sowing them into your garden beds. However, peas that are sown in soil that is about 40 degrees or less will germinate a little bit slower than peas that are sown in soil that is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So my soil isn't quite warm enough to start peas, therefore we're going to be starting them indoors today. Peas don't necessarily like to have their roots tampered with too much, so it's important that if you're planting them indoors that you use a container that's large enough that they can go right from this container into your garden beds as opposed to having to up-pot them into a larger container first. Now I'm specifically talking about the US and Canada mostly here, and depending on where you are in those two countries, you can start peas as early as February and into March and April, as peas are a great spring crop and can be also planted in the fall as well. They don't do well in the summer months whatsoever. They'll burn out and dry up. Now there are 3 different varieties of peas that you can plant in your garden. The first are sweet peas, such like the little marble peas that we'll be planting today. They're also known as English peas or garden peas, and these are peas in which you take from the pod. The pod itself is not edible, you just eat the peas that are inside the pod. The second type of peas are snow peas, and these are flat, stringless pods in which you can eat the pod and all, and these are great for things like stir fry, such as the snowflake snow pea. And the third variety are snap peas, like these sugar snap peas that we're going to be planting today. These are large edible pods where you can eat the pod and peas inside all together. If you're sowing your peas right outside in your garden, you can start your peas anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, even 8 weeks before your last spring frost date. We're going to be doing the same indoors today. I'm about 8 or 9 weeks away from my last frost date, which is typically around the middle of May, and we're in the last week of March here today. Now, the first thing we need to do to get started is fill our containers. I have almost all of my containers except for one filled with soil already. We're going to fill this one together so that you know how to do it. The soil that you should be working with, it should be pre-moistened, it should be a nice dark color, and it should stick together in your hand if you squeeze it together, kind of like the texture of crumbly brownie mix. So how we fill these containers is we're just going to fill it right with soil and kind of press it down lightly so that there's no air gaps in the soil. You want a nice dense base of soil for your seeds to germinate and for your roots to grow down into. We're going to fill the container right to the top and press it down lightly, and that's all there is to it. The next thing you want to make sure is that your container has holes on the bottom for drainage. This is to make sure that your seeds don't get waterlogged. Whatever container you're using, just make sure they have 2 or 3 holes on the bottom for that water to drain out properly. Let's get to planting our seeds. Now I have 21 seed starter cells here. We're going to be planting 2 seeds in each cell to ensure we get good germination rates. If both seeds sprout, we can keep both seeds in the containers. We don't have to worry about thinning them out. We're going to start with our sugar snap peas, and we're going to be planting 3 rows or 9 cells. Now these cells are quite large, so we want to make sure that we plant these seeds about 1 inch down into the soil. Again, we're going to plant 2 seeds per cell, and if both germinate, that's okay. If you want to speed up the germination rate, you can soak your seeds for 24 hours beforehand. So I'm just placing the seeds right on top. Then you just want to take a stick or a pencil and poke them down into the soil. Again, you want to go about 1 inch down. Half an inch to 1 inch is good, and then cover them lightly. The next thing you want to do is make sure you label your seeds so you don't forget which peas are which. So I'm going to take one label for the entire row, and I know that the entire row are sugar snap peas, and we have 3 rows. Let's move on to our snow peas. We're going to be planting the snow pea snowflake peas today. And we're going to be planting 2 rows of these seeds. These seeds are just a little bit rounder. And again, we're going to be planting 2 seeds per cell. You can also poke them down into the soil with your finger. Just a little bit easier. And then make sure you cover them up. Now again, I'm working with pre-moistened soil to make sure that the seeds get the nutrients they need right away as soon as they start germinating. And you want to make sure that your soil stays moist while your seeds are germinating. These are the snow peas. Stick our label in there and we can move on to our sweet peas. Our little marble peas are the peas that we're planting today for our sweet peas. They are a beautiful pea. Again, 2 seeds per cell. And poke them down into the soil. Cover them lightly. Label them. And our seeds are planted. It's just that simple. Now let's move to putting our seed tray under the grow lights. Now we're going to be placing our seeds right here underneath the grow lights. You want your seeds to be 2 to 4 inches away from the grow lights in order for your seedlings to grow nice and healthy and strong. My seed labels are just a little bit too tall to fit under the lights at that height, so I will replace the seed labels in the next day or 2 to ensure that they're the proper height away from the lights to make sure that they grow properly. We're just going to take our seed tray and place it right underneath the lights. And that's it! Our seeds are ready to germinate and grow for us. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to this video if you found it helpful, and share it with your friends so that they can learn too. I'll see you in the next video. Bye friends!